man, what an awesome day to ride. The weather's perfect. Trails are running awesome. Whew. Today is going to be about having fun on the downs. I don't care how long it takes me to get back up. I am racing nobody. So today, I've got the fun bike, and you better believe I'm rocking my flat pedals. And today is all about speed, and that means efficiency. So I've got the light bike, I'm packing light, and I need to make sure I don't lose any momentum or power in the climb. So you better believe today I'm running my clipless pedals. Whew.
Well, that's it. I ride them both. But it's taken me 23 years of riding mountain bikes to get to the point where I'm actually comfortable deciding when to ride each one. And I guess it's best to go back to the beginning. When I first started riding mountain bikes, and this was in the late 90s in Austin, Texas, it became really, really clear from the local bike shop guys, the riders you'd see on the trail, that if you were going to be a real mountain biker, you rode clipless pedals. I wanted to be a real mountain biker, so I went and I ditched these death flat pedals that I still have scars on my shins from these, and switched over and got my first set of SPD pedals. And these were pretty crappy, so I switched them pretty quickly to a set of real Shimano SPDs. And for the next 17 years, worked really, really hard to be a real mountain biker on my hardtail mountain bike, and riding rocky single track in Texas, and then I moved here to Georgia and continued to ride it here. But there was a point where I just felt like I was being held back, and I wasn't sure what it was. So I bought in 2017 my first modern full suspension bike. And when I did that, I decided to switch over from the SPDs to the Crank Brothers Candy pedals. And because I felt like they had a easier engagement and disengagement, and they did. And for a month or two, I rode those, and I just felt like I wasn't able to progress the way I wanted. So I decided to make a bold move, and I took my clipless pedals off, and I bought a pair of Race Face Chesters, and I loved them. So that summer, I worked mostly on bike skills. Like I started working on balance drills, started working on bunny hops, manuals, drops, and then I started working on jumping. Because for the first time, I felt like, even though I didn't crash much, I felt safer, so that if I needed to, I could ditch the bike quicker and get out of its way. And for the next 3 years, that was it. I was a hardcore convert to flat pedals. I bought a pair of these one-up pedals for my other bike when I had two different bikes. So I just had the flat pedals. I almost lost those clipless pedals. And I felt like I was almost as efficient. I felt like between the pins on these flat pedals and my 510 flats, there was very little I felt like that was holding me back efficiency on trails. And it was awesome. I pretty much had just said, I'm not going back to clipless. I don't care what anybody says. That's it. And I decided 3 weeks ago, I thought, geez, I wonder what would happen if I broke those clipless pedals back out and tried them out. So I threw them on the trek, went out to the trails I normally ride, the ones that you've been kind of seeing interspersed between me talking to you. And I found out that on that trail, I am faster and more efficient on these pedals than on my flats. The times are really, really close. The big difference was just how I felt at the end. I did have, I had more legs at the end. You're using different muscles as you're, pushing and pulling. Wasn't miraculous, but it was definitely a difference. So I realized, wow, there is actually a place for these pedals in my riding. I'm still a 90% flat pedal person because 90% of the time when I go out on a ride, it's all about fun. I'm trying to do new things. I'm trying to learn new skills. I might try to push a little bit on speed from what I did last time. I might try to do something a little bit more difficult. And I still like the freedom and what I think is the flexibility of the flat pedals. But I still will ride my clips on these XC type trails. So there's a saying in hiking, which is hike your own hike. And I think that carries over here. I mean, you know, ride your own ride. If you feel like you are 100% in one camp or the other, then by all means, own it and have a good time. It's your bike and it's your sport. But just make sure you're making that decision based on what really matters to you. So I guess the debate will continue like every other debate, whether we're talking about wheel size, how long, slack, and low a bike should be. I guess we'll just continue on this discussion. So I'm curious, which do you ride? Flat pedals or clipless? Or both? Let us know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave them down below. And if you're like me and just refuse to act your age, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching.